Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. I wanted to do another video today on actually the Triumph Celebration event. I wanted to give you guys a few more tips on how to actually use the Triumph celebration to your advantage, get some good free stuff, and then also to admit that I was wrong about something. But before we get into that, I did want to discuss something that happened last BOC rankings, basically. So, for those of you that don't know, this is the ultimate season of Battle of Constantinople, which is essentially used to qualify people for All Stars. And so, uh, all of your alliances will be split into um, all of these different continents, and you will be ranked only according to your continent here. So, uh, this essentially you can see where your alliance ranks in regard to your continent, so you know whether your points count, or things like that. So um, a lot of people were kind of disappointed in their rankings here because uh, people were losing scores, right? People were coming out of Battlefield and thinking, "Oh, hey, I had 20K scores," and then it came out and they only had like 5,000 scores or something. And this was really frustrating. This actually did happen to me as well. Um, let me just look at my rank. It happened to a little bit lesser extent to me just because of essentially the way that I play. But if we scroll down to all the way down to where I ranked, you can see that this is 37,000 points. I did phenomenal. I did great. This was one of the better battlefields that I've had in a long time. Hopefully the rest of them will stay as good, and I can make the top all stars again. But basically, this was even a lesser score than I was expecting. So I was expecting like right under 40,000 in terms of scores, because that's what it showed while I was in Battlefield. It showed, oh, okay, you have 39,000 scores or something like that. But when I came out and in the mail, it only said 37,000. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Um, but basically, what essentially the way I understand it is that they've essentially completely devalued building points. So if you're reinforcing a building, or even sometimes if you own the building, and you're using that to accumulate scores, those are not showing up in your season ranking for your total number of points. And that's actually surprising, right? Because that has always been included in your season scores. It doesn't always it's not always included in your alliance scores, but in your personal scores it usually still is. And the the confusing part is that they didn't actually update any of the documentation. They didn't send out a mail about this, nothing. So um, I think there's a lot of people that are upset about this. It is really upsetting for those that, didn't get a good matchup and had to hold buildings for extra points, and then those points essentially didn't count. Um, but just wanted to let you guys know about that. I am a kind of a fan of okay, the points for actually fighting, for attacking and defending and stuff like that should count more than the points you get from building. So a while back they dramatically increased the scores of the building points, and it made it so that if your alliance essentially wiped the other alliance immediately and were able to hold buildings for the entire time, your scores would be much higher than people who were constantly flipping buildings and also, constantly fighting. So I don't know. In my opinion, it can be an okay change, but realistically, they should send out a mail for this. They should, let people know. They should update the documentation. But we all know that this is Evany, so that's not super likely. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is, um, in my opinion, the best part of this event, and that's these bosses. The bosses themselves don't give great rewards, in my opinion. We can take a look at them quick. Um, so for the level 3 ones, which I believe are level 3 is the highest, you basically get this. It's really not that great, especially for the amount of stamina. You're also not getting any materials here, which is kind of annoying if you're trying to finish up dragons and stuff like that uh, for the additional buffs like I am. But let's actually take a look at what the important part of this boss actually is. And if you're like me, you see, okay, all these things pop up. Uh, First couple days, I completely ignored it because it was, I mean, it's just typically not worth the stamina for me, right? Like, let's see, 4 stamina for a random gift here that you don't even know if it's going to be lumber, you don't even know if it's going to be resources, you don't know anything about what it is. However, there are some boxes here that are important, and those are the Siren gift. So if you look at the Siren gift, they do cost more, but the stamina is well worth it in my opinion because you can get all these different rewards. So basically, you can get one or more of these. Um, and then the good ones here are the treasure box, source of life. I mean, stamina is kind of nice because then it's essentially for free. Speeds are meh, but this scepter is really good too because basically it's a gift where you have to open a decoration on someone's keep like they've done before, but you get these rewards every single time. So basically you can get 5 runestone chests every single time you do that. And so sometimes when you visit these gifts, you'll get like 3 of these, or you'll get 2 treasure box, or 6 source of lives, things like that, or a combination of these ones. And so it's, in my opinion, it's well worth the stamina. You should be visiting, you can visit 50 times a day, so you should make sure that you're visiting exactly 50 times a day. You don't want to be missing out on these, just because it's so hard to get rune stones, and that is one way to increase your general power, increase your buffs, everything like that. So definitely make sure you do that. If your alliance isn't strong enough to actually kill these, you can always look at other alliances and see if they have ones that are just sitting and no one's kind of claiming those. Again, if your server has rules against those, maybe it's not the best thing to do. But other than that, you do want to be maximizing those rewards. So as promised, let's get into what I was wrong about. Uh, so in my initial video on this event, I looked at this castle and I was like, this castle is kind of meh. Like there's not really, I couldn't really see when I would want to use this. You get, an okay own to activate ground troop HP, but ground troop HP is kind of a debuff that you can get fairly easily with gear. So that one's not a huge benefit. But then the use to activate, you get ground troop attack, enemy range or enemy troop HP debuff, and enemy ground troop attack debuff. So those are okay, but again, nothing crazy good that if you didn't have a different defensive keep, you would say, "Wow, I really need to get this." But the benefit comes, and this is where I was wrong about. I was like, no one's going to want to spend for this. But the benefit comes when you can upgrade it. So you can see there's 3 levels here, and it marginally increases the stats here. That's not, in my opinion, that's not really the main reason why you would upgrade it. And again, it goes upgraded here. The main reason why you would want to upgrade it is for this skill here, the Siren Song. So basically what this does is it increases the defense of all troops for you and any person in your alliance within 6 grids around you. So basically in any of the immediately touching uh, blocks around your keep. Um, you and all of those people in your alliance will get an additional 40% defense for 20 minutes, and you can activate it once. When you go to level 3, this gets even better. Um, this goes up to 60%. It still is only 20 minutes, so uh, I mean you would use this for Battlefield, or if you're t trying to capture throne or something like that. But this actually makes this keep really amazing. Besides, the look of the keep is pretty cool, but this does really make it really cool. And you're going to want to be one of those people around this keep. So it is worth it to get this keep, but you do have to get enough of the fragments to be able to upgrade it. So yeah, if you're one of those people that are doing that, definitely keep doing it. And if you are looking to spend this event, as always, please do remember to use Aptoide. It is the by far the cheapest option to get your Evony packs legally, and I have the description of how to do that in the video description. So, um, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.